G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Tantanoola Tigers. Today, I'm reading a couple of old newspaper reports about a big cat or Thylacoleo sighting at Haunted Hills, Victoria in 1915. So we'll get into it. This first article was published in Victoria's Morwell Advertiser on Friday the 8th of October 1915, titled Lioness in Haunted Hills. The name of Haunted Hills suggests something uncanny, and it is only natural to expect the place to be the abode of spooks and things not seen every day. Various stories related with regard to the naming of Haunted Hills and some tall but interesting yarns on the subject are told about Aborigines, drovers, and weird things that are said to be responsible for the name. But we never heard until the past few days that the said hills, in addition to being the home of bunyips, dragons, unicorns, etc., are also the haunts of lions. And if anyone doubts the assertion, that they have simply to ask Mr. Horace Brinsmead of Driftfield, who vouches for the truth to the statement. It appears that on Sunday morning last, Mr. Brinsmead was out mustering cattle on the Haunted Hills and had just crossed a deep, scrubby ravine in Mr. Witt's paddock about 5 miles from Morwell, when his attention was drawn to a spot where there was a great corroboree among a number of magpies that were kicking up a great shindy. He was at a loss to account for the aerial display by the birds until he saw a yellowish-looking animal suddenly emerge at a distance of about 50 yards from him, and to his amazement found it to be a lioness stalking through some low scrub. At the same time, the horse Mr. Brinsmead was riding commenced to bolt off in the opposite direction, and he could not force it to go another yard further in the direction of the strange beast. The animal moved along something like a huge cat, and disappeared into a dense belt of scrub and has not since been seen. Mr. Brinsmead states that there are no end of dead sheep in the locality, the majority nearly all been devoured, which he attributes to the lioness. He is very positive about the animal he saw being a lioness, and reminded doubters that he was only about 50 yards off the beast and knew a lion from a fox, dog, or any other quadruped. He is prepared to put up £10 that the animal he saw was a lioness. A party was out with dogs and rifles on Tuesday, and another band of hunters is being organised to go out tomorrow when it is proposed to beard the lion in his den. More than one resident asserts that it was reported some time ago that a lion escaped from a travelling circus, somewhere between Moe and Morwell. Master Fleming also states about 2 years ago he saw a strange animal that he believed to be a lion on the Haunted Hills. It remains for some hunter to settle all doubt about the matter. The end. Okay, so this final article was published in Victoria's The Maffra Spectator on Thursday, the 14th of October, 1915, titled Lion Hunting. What about the bunyip? The hills between Morwell and Moe are not only haunted, but a lion has taken up his abode there and is having a bit of a choice picking off sheep that are being run on the holdings there. At least that is the story of Mr. Horace Brinsmead, a Morwell farmer, tells. He saw the lion, he asserts, while out on the Haunted Hills mustering cattle. He was about 50 yards off the king of beasts, but his horse refused to go any closer. And quite right too, for a lion at large is hardly a fit companion to rub shoulders with. Some unkind people doubt the veracity of Mr. Brinsmead and put it down to imagination. However, everyone are not unbelievers, and on Saturday and Sunday last, large parties of venturesome folk went out to try to beard the lion in his den. They were disappointed, for he was not at home to callers. He is certainly an unsociable beast, or he would not make himself so scarce when there are so many who wish to see him. However, some of the brave lion hunters are on the firm opinion that he is there all right, and some of them state that they saw his footprints. And a motorcyclist, who was so companioned by his fair lady in a sidecar, says he heard the lion roar as he was passing through the Haunted Hills. The cyclist was not so anxious to view him at close quarters, so he went full steam ahead. So much so that he came to grief at the bottom of one of the hills. But after patching up his damaged machine, he arrived at Traralgon all right. The lion should surely have more sense than to frighten people at night time. Let us hope that he is soon caught if he intends to continue these kinds of jokes. The end. Oh, this is interesting. They've described it as a yellowish-looking animal, so I'm wondering whether it's an actual lioness, an African lioness, or it's a Thylacoleo. Mr. Brinsmead said there's no end of dead sheep in the locality, and most of them have all been devoured. Um, he's positive that he saw a lioness because he was only 50 yards off, and he knows a lion from a fox or a dog or a quadruped, and he's putting up £10 money to say that he saw it. And like he was riding along when he seen it, and his horse bolted off in the opposite direction. He didn't want to go near it, so it was obviously something. And then some of the lion hunters that went out looking for it, they say they saw his footprints, and this one makes me laugh a little bit. A motorcyclist that had his missus with him in a sidecar, and they were travelling along the road, and he heard the lion roar, so he's taken off full bore going for it, and he's come a gutser at the bottom of one of the hills and crashed the motorbike. And it makes me laugh because I want to know how the date went that day, whether she was unimpressed with him or not. But I'd love to know whether they're seeing an actual African lioness or you're seeing a Thylacoleo. Okay, that's it from me. I'll get back to you all next time. Bye.